Caroline, I'm tired.
It's not far now, we'll be there soon.
I'm cold.
We'll fetch you warm milk and honey. You'd like that.
Very much. Thank you, Caroline. What are those dogs doing?
Dogs? Alvin, do exactly as I say. This is important. Run to the inn as fast as you can, and don't look back. Understand?
Evil dogs.
Run!
What the hell? Shut the gate, quickly! The beast! The beast is attacking! Sound the alarm!
Hey everyone, my name is Wedoo and welcome to Everything You Can Do in The Witcher Enhanced Edition. Let's jump right into it. We are in Chapter 1, located in the outskirts of Vizima. As you can see, the outskirts have been having trouble with bar guests, dog specters that have been summoned by the beasts. We need to dispatch the bar guests to save Alvin.
Geralt, look! The time of the sword and axe approaches! The time of the white frost and white light! The time of madness and disdain! Tedirit, the final age! The world will perish amidst ice and be reborn with the new sun! Reborn of elder blood, of hen Iker, of a planted seed! A seed that will not sprout but burst into flames!
After the other cutscene, Shani, a long acquaintance of Geralt, talks with him, putting him up to speed about the recent problems of Vizima and its surroundings. Try to select every dialogue option to get a little backstory and to get some journal entries, such as the Etienne Prophecy, Alvin, Dandelion, and Cariona. During the fight against the bar guests, you received Temeria, Dwarves, Outskirts, and Shani journal entries. With all this, we start the two major quests of this chapter, of Monster and Man, and the Salamander's Tale. Try to collect every bar guest skull and loot every container. When approaching the inn, we see a notice board. This is where we get our first free contracts and a wanted poster. This starts 4 new quests: the Ghoul contract, the Drowned contract, the bar guest contract, and wanted. Also we get the new journal entry for the professor. From the previous chapter, we also got the Book of the Swallow Scroll, teaching us how to make blizzard and necrophage oil. After entering the inn, it is recommended to loot every container, either to get flint, alcohol, and orans. Going to the table near the entrance, we can talk with Kalkstein, an alchemist and a very important character in this game. Select every dialogue option to know more about him. Go near the fireplace and talk with Fat Fred, and he will be your first fighting opponent in this chapter.
Who wants to get slapped?
I'm going to kill you, you bastard!
After beating him, you can get one of 3 rewards. Choose the ring, because if you sell it, it is the more valuable one. Talk with the innkeeper and select every dialogue option, as it can give you various pieces of information. Innkeepers also serve as storage devices. If you store something, it will be stored until you retrieve it from the later chapters. Be sure to store at least 1 bar guest skull, it is needed later. Talk with Vesna Wood and try to woo her respectfully. Get out of the inn, open the gate, and you see Vesna being troubled by a group of men. Help her by slaying every man. This starts She's no early bird. You must escort Vesna to her grandma's house, and on the way, there are 2 Barghast encounters, so pay attention so that she can survive. Be sure to loot every Barghast skull, because in the end, you will have 10 Barghast skulls, the needed amount to complete the Barghast contract. After arriving at her grandma's house, the quest will end. You can romance her if you choose the first dialogue option. Pay attention because Barghasts spawn during nighttime, and this can happen right after the quest has been finished. Head to the fishing village and you will encounter a dwarf being harassed by tags. Deal with him with the help of the dwarf. He is none other than Jotun Sive, another acquaintance of Geralt. This whole event starts and finishes the quest Racists. Select all the dialogue options for a bit of backstory and a journal entry for Zoltan. Loot the remains of the tags and you will encounter a set of dice. Talk with Zoltan about the dice and he will teach you how to play the minigame. This is self-explanatory, but you need to get a better score than your opponent. During the chapters there will be a few players that you can challenge and beat for monetary rewards. Despite being risky, this is a good way of earning Orans. Before any dice game, save your progress. This starts a game of dice. If you didn't already, there is a campfire nearby, so you can rest and level up your talents. If you avoided leveling up until now, you should have 12 bronze talents. I wasted 5 points in the archery, 3 in strength 3, another 3 in dexterity, and the last one in intelligence. After selecting your desired talents, meditate until morning, when everyone is out and about. Go up to the village and talk with the locals. There's an old townswoman that, after giving her food, can give you additional journal entries for drowned deads, drowners and their lootables, Barghasts and their lootables, werewolves and their lootables, and flatters and their lootables. This can be very tricky, but if you enter an house and exit, she will be in a different location, but willing to talk to you again. After doing this, we need to talk with the Reverend about what's happening in the outskirts, and he gives us the task of placing lights at 5 local shrines of the Eternal Flame at night. He also instructed us into talking to the respected people of the outskirts, Ironbrog, Mikkel and Odo, and gives us the Eternal Fire Signet Ring. By equipping it, we can talk with them. Select all the dialogue options, one of which gives us more information about Berengar, getting journal entries for Cult of the Eternal Flyer, Reverend and Berengar. Go around the village and you will notice a traveler dressed in black. Is a former contractor of Geralt, and will give you 100 Orans for not paying Geralt the first time. Also, go to the nearby camp and talk with the Royal Guardsman. He will tell us there are 2 monsters wandering in the outskirts, one near the old mill and the other in a crypt. Head to the local witch's hut and talk with Abigail. She's the one who did put the notice about the Barghast contract, and by talking with her about that, we can give her 10 desired Barghast skulls, finishing the Barghast contract. Select all the dialogue options, one of which can give us the formula for Spectre Oil for 30 Orans. This also gives us a journal entry for Abigail. Try to loot the red shawl and the book and invitation to magic from her house. Heading back to the inn, Zoltan speaks with us right away, and if we ask more about the Dice Poker, we get to challenge novice players, starting Dice Poker Novice. We can also have a drinking challenge with Zoltan. If you have 7 weak alcohols, or beer in this instance, you can win with a lot of these, and get rewarded with diamond. Push to get out of the drunken state, meditate for 2 hours. Be sure to restore the red shawl and your jewels. There's an antiquary selling and buying books in the inn. Don't worry if the books are expensive. You can later make that money back with a lot of these. Buy the Book of Animals and Zurricane Alchemy. After reading the books, sell them back just to get a little bit more money. In the inn, there is also Declan Lovarden, a wealthy merchant, and by speaking with him, you are tasked with getting the remains of his friend in a cave. This starts Dead End of the Past and adds a journal entry for Declan Lovarden. There's another drinking challenge with the drunkard, so be sure to be sober to do this. 5 weak alcohols will do the trick, and he will reward you with the Tome of Fear and Loathing 1. So read that for useful information. Now meditate to regain soberness, and while you are at it, build the Frightened Vision. Getting out of the inn, you can encounter a blacksmith. You can sell him swords, daggers and axes that you don't need for extra cash, so now and then try to loot some weapons to sell later. Outside of the inn, there is a Vizima herbalist that has some useful plants and 2 books. Buy Subterranean Plants and read it. By exploring a little bit near the fishing village, you can find an house with useful alchemy ingredients. If you enter Aaron Brock's house, there are 2 books: History of the World and Against Non-Humans. Exiting his house, talk with Aaron about Witcher work, and he says that he is having problems with some drowners during the night. This starts Strangers in the Night. You can play dice poker with him to advance the set quest. Entering the Reverend's house, you can get Basics of Alchemy and Etienne's Prophecy. Going to the Outskirts. After the Royal Guardsman camp, you can see 2 houses. Walking past those houses, you can encounter a body with various loot. The most important part is a tulip. In the 4th house, west of the inn, there will be a container with the book Swamp Monsters. After all this walking, make sure it's between 7 PM and midnight. And if it is, bring medium alcohol so you can talk with Vesna and get a second romance card of the game. While we are at it, go to the Merchant's Gate and talk with Mikkel. He's another respected man of the Outskirts and another player of dice poker we need to beat. He asks us to clear the crypt of some ghouls and you start Buried Memories. You can also get the journal entry for Mikkel. Go to the nearby fireplace to meditate until midnight. If you have the ingredients, brew a cat potion. Go to the fishing village and slay some drowners near the merchandise and loot at least 3 drowner brains. For getting rid of the drowners, some elves will appear and request for Geralt to hand over the goods. Deny them and they will fight you. Take note that one of the elves has beggar tick blossoms. After dealing with them, talk with Darren Brogg about what happened in the riverbank. This finishes Strangers in the Night. If you speak with him again about more Witcher work, he will ask you to deliver a package to Coleman in Vizima, starting Hot Potato. You can also buy a blue meteorite from him. Exiting Aaron Brock's house, the beast will summon some Barghest to fight you. Go to the village again and start to light shrines. There are 5, and each one will spawn a group of Barghests. One is in the village, 3 of them between the village and the inn, and the final one is near the Merchant's Gate. While we are near the bridge, go to the crypt and deal with the ghoul problem. Before heading in, drink the cat potion for better visibility. There's a body of the girl near the entrance of the crypt, and if you inspect it, you will get a vial of poison. Get rid of the ghouls, but be sure to look around because ghouls like to dig underground and stay hidden. Get at least 3 ghoul bloods for the contract. Also, in the other room of the crypt, there's a circle of elements, and you can learn another sign, Igni. When exiting the crypt, you get to see the beast another time. This is it for this week. Next time, we'll finish what is left in chapter 1. Be sure to leave a like, a comment, and a sub if you want more. Bye bye!